Hi, how are you?
Yeah, good, thanks. How are you?
I'm good, thanks for asking. First, I would like to know how have you been getting ready for the split? Have you been focusing on anything specific during the off-season to improve your team performance?
We've mostly been focusing on two things. I mean, obviously, we're playing with a player who's recently role swapped, so uh, our main focus has actually just been getting a lot of time playing and watching the game together. So we've put just a huge amount of time into that, probably more than we normally would have otherwise. Normally, we do a bit more of a slow and steady approach, but we've for sure focused mostly on in-game topics, more so than on some of the performance topics. And on the performance side, we're looking a lot at habits. We're talking to players a lot about their daily habits, and we're just trying to optimize everything we possibly can as a team and as individuals for our processes, our routines, like the way that we do everything. We're just trying to address having really optimized and time efficient and useful habits to help make each other better, so that we can get the best out of each other. And that's kind of the two main areas that we're working on right now.
You mentioned before that you use meditation and breathing exercises to help calm the team's nerves before a match. Is this still the main approach, or have you introduced any new methods to help the players manage pressure?
We use a lot of kind of different techniques. I think it really comes down to the individual player. Some people, there are like two separating approaches in sports psychology, and I'm doing most of the performance work with the team at the moment. I have a lot of assistance from Bea, who's on our staff as well, so she's doing a lot with the players too. But I try to find generally the best approach for each individual player, and for some people that's really putting a lot of work into actively encouraging certain states of mind, right? For example, confidence is one that people talk about a lot. Like feeling good. So, you can talk about visualization, you can talk about mantras, you can talk about a lot of stuff like that, right? Like you're having really specific rituals and game day routines. And then the other side is kind of practicing mindfulness and acceptance to be okay with whatever state you are in on the day. And we tend to apply a balance, but it's really on an individual level what works for each individual player. So yeah, there's still meditation in there. There's a lot of physical activation. There's a lot of reaction games. There's just making sure that the general environment is good and everyone's routines are consistent. I think is the thing that I care the most about. Is just making sure I don't really mind what the players do on their game day, like their specific routine for the day and their specific routine for the morning and the evening. We try to make sure everyone has like a concrete routine. What I mind about is that it's something that is helping them build towards a goal that they've actively chosen, and that it's consistent, it stays the same every time. That's kind of my main focus.
After going through the winter split, do you feel the rookies are more prepared for this split, or are there still areas they need to focus on?
I think they've both been doing really, really well. Nak had a little bit of a shocker in game 2 today, which was an uncharacteristic performance from him. But from like obviously we have a much larger sample size than what the public has, right? And from the sample size that we have, we're super, super happy with the development of both of them. I think for Nak it hasn't like fully shown on stage yet. I think for Czajek it really has shown on stage, and he's been really, really wonderful. He's probably getting a lot of praise externally, but internally we're equally happy with both, I would say.
What led you to choose Nisqy for the support role to replace Hilisang, considering Nisqy was previously a mid laner? Can you please tell us a little bit about the selection process?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, our selection process for roster building in general is always fit before everything else, right? Like, who is the best culture fit? Who is the best personality fit? Who is the best duo fit? Who is the best playstyle fit? And we felt that Nisqy was the best fit. I think that's the simplest way I can say it.
What are your thoughts on streaming Scrims? Do you think it's beneficial or harmful for the team?
I think it's hard to say. I don't really have a strong opinion, but I like it. I think it can be useful to add pressure, right? Like, obviously, I don't think it's something you want to do every single time, but one of the ways that you can alter your practice, you can increase the difficulty, you can book a harder opponent, right? Or you can increase the pressure, or you can choose to decrease the pressure if you're learning something new, right? So I think it has a place, and I think, it can be something that helps hold teams accountable to keeping high standards in practice. I think there are a lot of things that often slip by the wayside when it comes to scrim culture, because scrim culture is not enforced by anyone, right? So there are a lot of things that I think can be improved there, and those things are less likely to happen. There are a lot of just poor quality scrims, to be really honest. And I think there's less window for that when they're streamed, because there's a little bit more pressure on people to look good. People don't want to look silly in front of lots of people watching the scrims. I think it's also just great for the fans to get an insight into what scrims look like, because scrims are so different to competitive matches. Like it's a totally different world.
What do you think are the main difference between them?
A normal scrim has like 1 kill a minute, I would say. Sometimes 2 kills a minute. Depends on the team, right? But especially when you play top team versus top team, it tends to get more bloody rather than less, which is like counter to what people would expect. A lot of ERL players are very surprised, when they come to LEC for the first time. Like top ERL scrims are typically very organized, very structured, and much more similar to a stage game. And then you get to the LEC and it's pure chaos, and it happens again. It levels up even more when actually you go international and you play versus LPL, LCK teams. Like the scrims are even more chaotic. Actually, they're even more kind of limit testy and mechanical and fast paced. And yeah, scrims are just insanely fast when you play at like a top level in League of Legends.
How's the team synergy coming along so far? Has it been easy to adapt to the new lineup?
Yeah, super easy. I think on a personality level, on like a game synergy level, everything's been really easy. Like I can tell you that our reviews, our like VOD sessions, our one-to-one sessions, like with the players, like when we do take multiple players for a VOD session as well, rather than the whole team, it flows really easily. I think the discussions are usually really collaborative and actually really productive. So I think it's been super positive so far. And outside of the game, the team atmosphere is just nice. Like everyone who comes in from the outside who's seen us before, like if we're at Riot or if we're like camera people or content people or anyone, management people observe the team. Everyone has been like, wow, it's really different, and it's really positive. So I'd say it's been very successful. Yeah.
What are your goals for the team this split?
My goal is that we get better every day, and if we get better every day, then we're going to be a really good team. I don't think that many teams improve consistently throughout the year. So as long as we keep learning and we have good habits, I think we can be a top team. So that's kind of the aim. Trying to be process focused rather than state like a clear objective. I don't see any reason why we can't be a top team as long as we are really process focused and don't listen too much to the noise around us, because there's going to be ups and downs in the team, especially like when you're role swapping a player, when you make a change after winter, like when we're working with rookie solo laners, like it's going to be a roller coaster, and days like today show that, right? It was a real roller coaster today, and today was the downswing, and that's totally okay, right? That's totally okay. None of us are panicking behind the scenes, right? So I think as long as we're really process focused and we keep having like good habits and good routines and good process, like the thing that we talked about after the game was, okay, let's close the chapter on this game. Let's talk about, like take ownership, take responsibility for what went wrong. Let's shout out people for things that went well and show some gratitude and appreciation for the things that actually were good about today, which there were actually a lot of good things about today. And then let's talk about next week. Like the vast majority of the conversation that I just had with the team was, what are we doing next week? What are we doing tomorrow? What are coaches doing on Monday? When are we reviewing the games? Like what performance topics are we having next week? What's our scrim schedule like next week? How do we want to improve our practice next week? These are the actually really important questions to ask after today, I think.
Last but not least, do you have any words for your Vitality fans?
Always for the Vitality fans. They are super lovely. Thank you guys for having faith and having patience. I thank you in advance for your support. Please be really supportive, especially towards Nak, who had a bit of a roughie today, and to Nisqy, who in game one was like a little bit on the back foot. But the thing that we said to the players after today was that we were really proud that we had a really tough game state and that we stayed proactive. Like I can tell you that our comms behind the scenes are, guys, we're winning this game. We're going to flash on this guy and kill him when he has no flash. And like, it's so proactive ahead of time. It's so optimistic. It's so positive. And I'm sure that if we maintain that, which we will, and we stay true to our style and stay true to our guns, we're going to end up playing some really good League of Legends by the end of the year. So thank you in advance for your patience and your belief in us, and we're going to do our absolute best every single day to pay it back to you guys.